Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the Darkroom. Today I'm gonna make some prints from my time with the Pentax KM and the 77mm in the banana trees. I really like how these negatives came out and I'm really excited to get some prints done. Choosing which negative to begin with was a very easy choice. It just stood out amongst all the others that I had taken that day. So I'm going to begin with that one. Now I might do two. There's a third on that list that I might look into, but we're going to see how we do with the first one before I make any big plans to spend 9 hours in the darkroom today. With everything already set up, I think it's time to get started. Started off with a 2.5 grade filter, and this is the image that I got. It's all right. It's pretty contrasty, but I'm running into a similar problem I ran into with the Alhafa darkroom session, is I am missing a key part of my image, and that is the top of the banana flower where the sun was hitting it. And I have nothing coming through in that space. I decided to do a 1.5 grade filter, and this one at 8 seconds, to see if there was a way to get a little bit more in that one spot and not have to think of a different drastic solution. I do like how the blacks have a little bit more softness in them, and I'm happy with the rest of the image, but again, I'm missing this one key element. It is the subject, it is the middle of the frame, and it's gonna need to be there. After that, I decided to try 10-second base with the 1.5 grade filter, and it's gone too far. But that's okay. That was just to see how far I could push it. But I also tried to burn just this part right here with the 1.5 grade filter. And I was just doing about 10-15 seconds. I was just sort of experimenting to see if this is going to make a difference and sort of gauge how far I might have to go to get what I want. I've achieved some result, but it's not sufficient. So I have a 1.5 grade filter at 8 seconds that gets me a nice background, and the blacks and the midtones are looking pretty good. I just need to figure out how much time to get that. Take a moment and look at the progress that I've made on this first print. I've gone to the 8x10, so I thought I had more or less where I wanted to be. This first one, I overcooked it just a bit in terms of everything else, but the focus was really trying to get the top of the banana flower, and I was successful. So the burn was working. Now I just needed to take a bit of time off to balance the rest of the image. The second image got much better balance in the areas around the subject that I was really looking for, and I was able to get a nice burn on the top of the banana flower. Now, I'm really happy with how it came out, but I wanted to see if I could get just a little bit more detail in there without affecting the overall image and the position and the attention to the subject. In the end, I got what I wanted. This is right in the sweet spot. I've got all of the background where it needs to be, and I've got just a bit more burn on top of the banana flower to really give it the texture and the definition that I was looking for. So if I only have one of these final prints, this was a great one. I'm really happy with it. And now it is on to the second negative. You can already see the challenge inside this negative. This area right here is all in shadow, so this is very dark. So it's light here, meaning that is the darkest point in the negative. And all the dark spots are going to be the brightest. Now, what I want is I want to keep the transparent nature of the leaves of the papaya tree. The reason I chose this negative is I really like the lines, all the branches coming off the tree from the center, and they will be also very dark. So I want to balance it in a way that gives a lot of contrast but doesn't lose all of this in one dark blob, and allow the transparent nature of the leaves to come out. And it was also the banana leaves coming off here, which are going to add some weight to this side of the image. And so I want to balance the visual weight of this with the open space over here. For a while now, I've been using the Kentmere VC Select paper, the fine luster, for my 8x10 prints. And if you've been watching, you might know that I was using an Ilford gloss 5x7 for test printing. Well, I got a great deal on that paper, so I didn't ask any questions. It did its job, but that is over. And now I'm going to be using the Kentmere VC Select 5x7. This is a gloss, but again, same brand. Now, same paper, more or less, so I'm looking forward to using it. So now I've got this, and it was full price. We're doing our test prints in half size. So now we got little guys. So I started off with a 1.5 grade filter, thinking, okay, it was doing a good job with the previous print, but I already know that to get what I want, I'm just going to be washing out too much. I'm not really very happy with it. Go back to a 2.5 grade filter, and 3 seconds, kind of cooked it. It's getting a bit dark, losing what I want. 2 seconds, it's kind of where I want to be. So I'm sort of 2.5 seconds, I think. I'd like this to be a little bit darker. I don't know. But what I do like is that I know I'm getting the transparency in the leaves, and I'm getting this part pretty solid. So 2.5 seconds seems to be a good place to start. on the 8x10. At first glance, I don't think I can complain too much with the results that I got at 2.5 seconds. I'm getting the central part of the papaya tree and, of course, all of the fruit, and the stalks for the leaves are coming out nice and deep and dark, while getting a bit of the light, almost transparent quality of the leaves. The front part here, the banana leaves coming in, probably not as dark as I would like, but the rest of the image is looking quite nice. I know that the tones will change a little bit as the paper dries, and it will sort of change the depth a bit. So I know that's going to happen in my favor. So I am going to do one more, I think, at 3 seconds, just to see if it just goes a bit too far. I'm interested to know where I can push this in terms of the blacks and the very deep tones. It's been another fun and productive day in the darkroom. There's no question about that. Started off with the banana flower, and this is the final print that I got. I'm happy with the work I was able to do just on top of the banana flower and getting some of that detail. Did 2 of them, just a slight different time for the background, marginal difference. They both came out looking pretty well balanced. The other print was a bit more of a challenge that I took on, and that was to balance the fruit of the papaya tree along with the parts around it. This one, I didn't go chasing too much. I got to a point where I was happy with the contrasts that I was able to achieve, while still keeping a little of this light, transparent nature of the leaves. I did another one at 3 seconds just to see how far I could push it, and it just went a little bit too far in the middle, but still not to a point where it's just really not that great of an image. So it's all right. The first one at 2.5 seconds was definitely the keeper. Well, that wraps up today's darkroom session. I do hope you enjoyed it. Always appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. You take care, and I will see you next time.